Hi, everybody. Okay, take two. This is a perfect storm for something to go wrong today. I'm working from home, and I don't typically try to do something like this while the girls are sleeping, but they're both sleeping, and then Facebook decided to keep crashing. So I'm about 20 minutes later than I hoped to be, but here we are. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 tips for surviving post-launch letdown. Um, so what exactly this is, and I totally made up this term, I'm sure it kind of exists, but it's that feeling after you launch something, whether it's a giveaway or a website or ooh, I can put on a mask to give myself a fun look. Stop it. Oh my goodness. It says tap the magic wand to try one. I don't know, this is making me nervous. I'm tapping the magic wand and nothing's happening. Okay, anyway, we'll do a fun hat next time. So 4 tips for surviving post-launch letdown. So post-launch letdown is after you launch something like a giveaway, a website, a new project, a new business, a blog post for photographers, just a sneak peek sometimes. Anything that you feel like so amped up to share with the world, and then you share it and you have this overwhelming feeling of letdown. And sometimes you know exactly why. Maybe nobody participated in the giveaway. Maybe people didn't like or comment as much as you wanted. But sometimes we just get these feelings for almost no reason. Like maybe the project went fine, but we're having these overwhelming feelings of disappointment. And this is a real thing. And I know a lot of people have launched things in the past couple of weeks. A lot of people have launched things since the new year. I know I've launched a lot of things, maybe not like super hardcore, like a lot of build up launch. Hi, Angie. And I think I saw Erin was in here too. That makes me so happy. And a lot of people have been coming to me saying, like, I did this giveaway and nobody participated. So I took down the post. Like some people even take their stuff down because they're so afraid and they're not getting the reaction that they want. And it happens to me on a weekly basis. Like weekly, I feel like something that I wanted to do well didn't go as well as I wanted, and I feel some sense of disappointment. So I've got some tips for you for overcoming that because it's real and we all feel it. And some people, it even causes them to give up or to take a break from what they're doing, and that's what we don't want. So typically I bounce back, pretty quickly. I mean, from the outside looking in, it probably looks like I'm always pushing forward and I'm never struggling, but I struggle a lot. I really only, I vent about it to my close tribe or to my family, but there is a lot of times where I feel like something really didn't go well. And then, of course, there's like the highs when you're working on it, and then you hit the publish button and you get no reaction and you feel sad. And a lot of times for me, I am getting positive feedback, but there's still an unexplainable feeling. So I'm going to address that too. So most importantly, I'm not here to tell you like my struggles and my sob stories, but I want to help you guys so that you don't give up when you get these overwhelming feelings. Okay, so tip number 1 is you have to get used to the feeling of talking to nobody, especially if you are kind of new in business and you're just putting yourself out there for the first time. You have to realize that this is never going to go away. And the sooner that you know in your heart that what you're doing is for the greater good and not for comments or likes, the sooner you're going to get used to that feeling being there constantly. And just knowing that as a business owner, that's kind of just the new normal, is that we talk to nobody for a very, very, very long time before you have this big audience. And some really successful businesses still don't have big audiences. I'm reading a book and I started stalking the author online, and I was like, oh my gosh, she does Facebook Lives every week too. And I was looking at her statistics, and like 4 people viewed, 50 people viewed, like way less than what I'm getting on mine. And she's the author of a book. So I'm like, there's no correlation with how much interaction you get on a video and your success level. So whether 3 people tune into my video today or 300, it is really very little to do with my success or with the outcome. And that's really hard pill to swallow when all that we're seeing as business owners is success, 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 80,000 followers, 100,000 followers. It's really, really hard to realize, but there are plenty of successful people out there who realize and embrace the fact that they're talking to nobody 90% of the time. And I am one of them. I have a very small audience. I just feel like they're small and mighty, and I'm going to talk to them and I'm going to follow my heart regardless of, the likes, the comments, or the interaction. So all the haters out there, you're going to keep seeing me. So that is tip number 1, is just getting used to the feeling of talking to nobody. You have to look at it like it's practice or, it's progression, whatever is going to help you kind of stick with it. And knowing that it's the new normal. And then sometimes we do get great feedback and we still feel negative. So just realizing that all of that is normal. Okay, I know that's really hard and that's not really an answer, but it happens to all of us. And there is no entrepreneur out there that's going to tell you that they didn't experience failure, letdown, struggles, self-confidence issues, all that stuff. Okay, so tip number 2 is trust your gut and the process, okay? And if you just did something really fast and launched it and you just put it out into the world with no thought or care, then you can kind of move past this part. But I'm talking to those of you that have poured your heart and your soul into something and you felt really strongly about it, that you need to trust your instincts that you are on the right path and the right direction, okay? And even when it feels unsure, just remember that consistency is important and listening to your gut. And I don't mean like the emotional side. So if you have these letdowns after you launch something like a new website, you're going to have these emotional kind of crashes. Let that happen and then put that to the side. Okay, I'm talking about listening to your empowering voice. We have both. We have the empowering voice and we have the struggle voice. Okay, so I'm talking about listen to your gut, listen to the things that made you start that project in the first place. And a really great example is this entire Creatives Live Happy journey that I'm on, this whole little, I call it my side hustle because my photography is my main hustle. This huge bear of a project that I've been working on for nearly 2 years, okay? I have changed a lot of things, but my actual quest, my actual vision, my deep-rooted goal has not changed. So it's okay to make changes along the way. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to change things that aren't working. What is not okay is to give up on something that you're passionate about and brings you joy. So you have to really, really, really trust the passionate feelings that made you start the project in the get-go. Okay, so that is number 2, is trusting the process and then trusting your gut, for lack of a better word, okay, your instincts to do what it is you do. That doesn't mean don't make changes. That doesn't mean don't adjust if something's not working. I change my mind all the time about what Creatives Live Happy is going to be and what it's going to do and how it's going to help people. But the ultimate big picture goal has not changed, okay? So consistency and tenacity and persistency. I don't know if that's a word. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3 is to know and evaluate your expectations. So sometimes, I'm guilty of this all the time, I feel disappointed and I can't exactly articulate why. What was I expecting, when I launched this Facebook Live? Was I expecting likes? Was I expecting comments? Or was I expecting a lead? Like, what exactly was it that I was expecting? So sit back and ask yourself those questions. When I launched the giveaway, well, what did I expect from people? So just really assessing that and realizing, okay, are my feelings real or are my feelings kind of manifested because I wanted some kind of reward? And really dig into your disappointed feelings and where they're coming from. Are they coming from a lack of confidence? Most of the time, they're coming from fear, okay? And going back to number 1, that fear is something that you just have to get used to being in your life all the time if you want to do something like this. Oh, hi, Rachel. Yes, expectations are such a bear. I totally, totally agree. I have, and that's actually my next point. So what I do is I set my goals big and my expectations low, and that always helps. So what I want to do is a big thing, you know, like helping people, or these Facebook Lives are big, they're hard. If you've never done one, they're hard. But what I expect in return is little. So if I'm working on a project and I'm going to write down the what I'm going to do and the what I'm going to get back, I always make sure that the what I'm going to do is way bigger than the what I'm going to get back. And then usually the outcome over time, sometimes years, will take care of itself. And that's way easier said than done. But just remember that at the end of the day, like I've said before, like we are in complete control of our feelings. Okay, we control our feelings. We control satisfaction the same way that we control happiness. It's a choice. Okay. And number 4, this one is so basic but so important, and that is do unto others. So if you want people to react to you and what you're doing, then you need to be sure that you are being social and reactive to other people. Yay! I guess you liked number 4. So if you want people to celebrate your launches and to celebrate what you're doing, then you need to be sure that you're celebrating others as well, because that's going to it's going to get you noticed, but it's also being part of a community and doing the right thing. And so many of us with social media are guilty of not participating. We hang out and we judge people and we do our daily scrolling and we like the people that we like, but we're not celebrating. Oh, it is applicable to everyday life. I love it, Brittany. It's important. And I mean, I have 2 kids, and sometimes I don't have the time, you know, to read all my friends' blogs, like to read all the stuff that I want to read and do all the things I want to do online. But I really, really try my hardest to celebrate what other people are doing. And that's such a big part of it. It's like I saved the best for last. So if you just launched a giveaway or something big and you're hearing crickets, then that's the easiest and first thing that you can do in the self-evaluation department is, are you participating in other people and celebrating their successes as well? So just in a recap, because I see we have more people now than we did in the beginning. Today I talked about 4 tips for surviving a post-launch letdown is what I'm calling it. But really a launch can be anything from just a sneak peek, sometimes just a freaking Facebook status, you know, like we hear crickets and we're like, oh great, people think I'm stupid. A website launch, giveaway launch, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Insta Story. I mean, anything that you are doing to promote your business is a launch, big or small. And very, very constantly we're feeling some kind of letdown after we do that. And like Brittany said, this is applicable to everyday life. And I used to be a teacher, so teaching a lesson, especially if you're being observed by your peers or your principal and nobody really stops in the hall to say, hey, nice job, or hey, that was awesome. That freaking sucks when that happens. Or like I used to put the kids' artwork out in the hallways all the time. Yeah, it's nice for the kids to see their work, but I'm like wanting to hear some kudos from the principal or the other teachers. And it stinks when you get nothing for all your hard work. And being a business owner, it's really hard because you have no boss to tell you good job. It is you. You have to look in the mirror and say good job, and that sucks to have to do that. So anyway, 4 tips for surviving all of these crappy feelings that we go through. Number 1 is just getting used to the fact that you're talking to nobody. So social media is so loud and so noisy, and our voices get lost so easily, but we have to get used to the fact that if we want to feel success, whatever our version of success is, we have to be comfortable with talking to no one. You know, like the fact that this tells me that there are 7 of you right now, 8. I'm so grateful for you, by the way, my 8 people. I love you. So many people would look at that as such a failure. Like, oh my God, that Liz Henson, she gets live and nobody's listening to her. That's what it feels like. Those are the voices going through my head. But it's so important that, oh, thank you, Emily. I love you too. Like, get on here and get real and tell y'all how much I struggle. And it really, I mean, some days it's hard. It's like, I don't want to, put on my makeup and talk to people and all that stuff. But anyways, it's just part of being a business owner. And I remember from the very first time I published a website at all to, oh, I appreciate you too, Emily. You are definitely doing unto others, girl. You need to launch something because you got a whole army of people ready to support you. Um, oh, thanks, Adonica. And you just launched your website and it looks so good. Everybody, everybody has a first website, a first blog post, a first Facebook status on their business page, a first image on their photography website. I mean, it's scary, y'all. But it doesn't go away. And I think that's such a false feeling that people have that one day I won't be as scared. Well, if you talk to the most successful people out there, the Jasmine Stars, the Caitlin James, they're going to tell you that they still feel these feelings. They've just learned to rein them in and to control them. Okay. Number two is to trust the process and trust your gut. And if it's something that you're really passionate and emotional about, then you're doing the right thing. So you have to follow that. You can change your path. You can change your ideas. It's okay if I wanted to stop doing my Facebook Lives and do something else. But what is not okay is if I was to give up on this big thing altogether, because I'm really passionate about it. And I'm not giving up, y'all, no matter how hard it is. Oh, Lord. It'll be like 10 years from now before I'm actually monetizing any of this, but whatever. I'm following my heart. So that is number two, is just trusting the process, okay? Now, if you're not enjoying it and it's not bringing you joy, then give it up. I will tell you that straight up, okay? Thanks, Rachel. So that's when you give up, is when something doesn't bring you joy. But if it brings you joy, it is not okay to give up. You have to just trust the process, okay? Change your ideas, refocus, that's fine. We self-evaluate all the time. Just like in teaching jobs, you get self-evaluations, you critique yourself all the time. Okay. Number three is to know and evaluate your expectations. What did you really want from this? Okay. What kind of reaction were you really expecting? And what really helps me, because sometimes we're manifesting these feelings and they're not real. So I set my goals and my actions big, and my expectations of what I want in return is little. Okay. So these Facebook Lives, I am not asking for anything in return. I'm just doing these as part of my bigger project, which is Creatives Live Happy, okay? And then number four, the most important, is do unto others. So if you launch something and you got crickets back, make sure that you are also liking, commenting, celebrating others, and you mean it, okay? You can't fake that kind of stuff. So that is 4 tips for surviving post-launch letdown. I hope that it was helpful to my 6 people now. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I did finally get some organization and direction to where Creatives Live Happy is going over the next couple of months. So I have a free Facebook group for newbies in business that are just starting out. These people are very scared to invest any kind of money. So I have them in a group called the Creatives Live Happy Lounge. Hi, Chelsea. Chelsea's in there. She's doing awesome. She just launched her website, or Facebook page, right? You can share that below. Y'all feel free to share your stuff below. I'm totally fine with that. Introduce yourselves. If you just launched something in the last week, because I think a couple of you that are watching did, post it in here. It's a safe place. So I have the Creatives Live Happy Lounge for brand new people in business. I'm talking like they are just starting their business. They want to start a business, or they might be struggling in business. It's okay if you're in business for 3 years, but if you're still not monetizing like $25,000 or less, then you are welcome in that space. And all you have to do for that is to sign up. I'll put the link in the comments. Yeah, I'll put the link in the comments and you guys can sign up there. And then I still have my Creatives Live Happy VIP group. So that is kind of for my people that I've worked with in the past couple of years that either paid or collaborated with me in some way. And those people, it's a mixed bag in there. Some are monetizing, some are not. But so I've got the 2 private Facebook groups. Both of them are free. And that's kind of what I'm moving forward with for right now. And my newsletter. And the newsletter is kind of a requirement to be in the groups, but I email like once a month. Let's get real. It's nothing crazy. So that's it. That's what Creatives Live Happy has going on right now. We have a brand new Instagram account that is growing at a very happy speed, I'll say. So I'm excited about that. So anyways, I will let you guys go because I know my kids are going to wake up, but really enjoy this beautiful day. I'm going to go outside as soon as they wake up. And if you did love this, like it, comment, share, leave it some love, or just give me a hug when I see you. All right, bye guys. Thank you. And I mean it. Thank you for being here.